Have you ever considered about retiring to Kansas City? Look, I know you can retire places that are warm all year round. You've got California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, heck, even Las Vegas for that matter. But there are lots of good reasons why you should seriously consider Kansas City as a place to retire to. In fact, what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to give you reasons why Kansas City makes a great place to retire to. Now, I'm also going to share with you some of the negatives as well. Groceries and eating out here in Kansas City is less expensive than when you compare it to the national average, so your food budget is going to go much further here, particularly when you compare it to the other more popular areas where people like to retire to. As far as eating out, Kansas City has a very diverse culinary scene from casual to upscale. Now, Kansas City is famous for its steak restaurants such as the Majestics, which is a upscale fine dining steak restaurant that combines live music, and it's situated in a historic building in downtown Kansas City. Or you can try out Kansas City's latest steak restaurant, and that is the 1587, which is named after the owners Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, who are members of the Kansas City Chiefs National League football team. And of course, there's barbecue. We have over 100 barbecue restaurants in Kansas City, and all of them but one are local restaurants, just one chain. There are so many good barbecue restaurants, I'm not even sure I could tell you which one is the best. I just know that when you're thinking about going out for barbecue, that's the hardest decision you make, is which restaurant you're going to go frequent. Now, Kansas City is also home to some of the best Italian restaurants. My favorite is Grozzo's. This is where chicken spadini began. I really like it because I like the ambiance. In its heyday, I should say, in the Mafia's heyday, this was a restaurant that the Mafia would frequently frequent. Then, if you're like me, do you like pizza? Because Kansas City's got a plethora of great pizza restaurants. My favorite is Waldo's Pizza, and then we have an abundance of Mexican, Asian, Indian restaurants. I mean, there is every type of restaurant here, so you won't have any issue satisfying your culinary itch. Now, if you like spending your mornings at a coffee shop, you'll have no trouble finding coffee shops here in Kansas City. We've got everything from modern upscale to quaint coffee shops such as Messenger's, which is in the Crossroads. This is a 3-story coffee shop with rooftop seating, and it also incorporates the Ibis Bakery as well. My favorite is McLean's. That is a Kansas City institution. Why is this important? Because Kansas City's food scene rivals that of the much larger cities, but at a significantly lower price point. You're always going to find something to do, and the best part is, most of the time it's going to be free or very reasonably priced. Let's start off with the nationally and internationally recognized Nelson Atkins Art Museum, which not only houses the largest collection of Asian art in the Western Hemisphere, but also paintings from European as well as American masters. Then you can check out the state-of-the-art Kauffman Center for Performing Arts. We've got the Starlight Theater. This is one of Kansas City's most iconic and cultural landmarks. It is an historic open amphitheater. It has hosted Broadway shows, concerts, as well as special events. Free concerts that are held throughout the Kansas City metropolitan area as well. If you're a sports enthusiast, well, you're going to have plenty of options to choose from as well. Professional teams include the Kansas City Chiefs national football team. We've got the Kansas City Royals, which is our Major League Baseball team. Do you like soccer? Because we have 2 soccer teams. You can choose to follow the men's club, which is the Kansas City Sporting Club, or you can follow the Kansas City Current, which is our women's professional soccer team. Now, if you're like me, I'm a big fan of college basketball. Well, Kansas City is home to the Big 12 annual basketball tournament as well as the NAIA basketball tournament. And if you are a NASCAR fan, well, you're in luck because the Kansas City Speedway is on the NASCAR circuit. Now let's talk a little bit about events. One of my favorites is the Plaza Art Fair. It takes place in the Kansas City Country Club Plaza. It typically attracts anywhere from 100 to 200,000 people, and we have all types of food fests throughout the year. 3 of the more popular include the Irish Fest, the Greek Fest, as well as the Hispanic Fest. And of course, we're home to the largest barbecue contest in the world. That's the American Royal Barbecue. It's held actually in the infield grass of the Kansas City Speedway because that's the only place it's big enough to hold it. And it attracts teams not only nationally, but internationally as well. And if you like block parties, then you're going to want to check out the First Fridays in the Crossroads because that's what it's like, a large block party. There's food trucks so you can eat on the cheap. They have the studios and the art galleries are all open to the public for free. And if you want a little more upscale dining, there's plenty of upscale restaurants. 3 of my favorite, though, include Lydia's Italian Restaurant, Jack Stack Friola's Barbecue Restaurant, and Gunhauer's German Restaurant. All 3 just happen to be located in what we call the Freight Yard. In addition to that, a great way to spend your spring, summer, and fall mornings, Saturday mornings, is going to one of the many farmers markets that you'll find throughout the Kansas City metro. My favorites are the Overland Park Farmers Market. You've got the Lee Summit Farmers Market that they simply, literally revamped and reopened. And then you have the Farmers Market at the River Market just north of downtown. Why is this important? This is important because you're never going to run out of things to do or how to spend a weekend. But again, because most of these events are free or reasonably priced, your entertainment dollar is going to go much, much further here than a lot of the other popular retirement areas. Look, if you're someone who loves the outdoors, then you're going to love Kansas City. We have over 220 parks. 2 of the most notable, or at least my favorite, is Luce Park, which happens to be home to the Laura Conyer Smith Rose Garden. This rose garden, believe it or not, boasts over 3,000 rose bushes with over 130 varieties. And then we have the Ewing Muriel Coffin Memorial Gardens. This is an intimate formal garden. It features seasonal flower displays that change throughout the year. You've got flowing fountains, ornamental trees, as well as European-inspired terraces. This is a great place just to go have a cup of coffee or read a book or just really enjoy a day like today where even though we're a week from Thanksgiving, the temperature is 72 degrees. Another great place is the Overland Park Arboretum and Botanical Gardens. Here you're going to find themed gardens as well as 300 acres of preserved natural acreage with wildlife and trails for hiking. They also hold seasonal outdoor events. My favorite is the Luminary Walk. It takes place usually right after Thanksgiving on the first Tuesday of every month. It's free. Now look, if your idea though of enjoying life is spending time on a lake, fishing or boating, well, you're in luck because Kansas City has a number of public lakes. The most popular ones and the largest ones include Lake Jacomo, Longview Lake, as well as Smithfield Lake. And depending where you live in the Kansas City metropolitan area, they're very accessible, maybe 20 to 30 minutes at the most. And if you're someone like myself who loves hitting that little white ball with a stick, and who doesn't, well, you're in luck because Kansas City has almost 20 public golf courses to choose from. So you're never going to get bored having to play the same course over and over. And if you want to play on a course that gives you the feel like you're playing on a private country club, well, you're going to love Iron Horse because Iron Horse is meticulously maintained and it features zoysia fairways and bent grass greens. Amenities, a 5,000 square foot clubhouse, but a fully equipped practice area including a 3-hole practice course, multiple putting greens, chipping greens, bunkers for practice, and a large driving range area. If you're, though, someone who simply enjoys a nice leisurely stroll, well, you're going to love Kansas City because they have an extensive walking and trail system. My favorite is the Trolley Track Trail, which really runs literally through some of Kansas City's most desirable established neighborhoods. And then you have the Indian Trail Creek, which is an extensive walking and biking system that's integrated throughout Johnson County, ideal for walking, jogging, and biking. If you're someone who wants to stay active, Kansas City is going to give you all types of different options to take advantage of. You have access to excellent medical care. Kansas City is renowned for its hospitals. You've got the University of Kansas Medical Center. You have St. Louis healthcare systems. You have hospitals like North Kansas City Hospital, Menoras, St. Joe Hospital, as well as the Advent Health of Shawnee Mission. Now, KU Med Center, it's one of the leading academic health institutions. It's nationally recognized for its excellence in cancer care, cardiology, neurology, as well as organ transplantation. And it serves as a teaching hospital for the University of Kansas School of Medicine. KU Med, it is consistently recognized as one of the top hospitals in the nation. And then we have the St. Luke's Healthcare System. This is one of the Midwest's most respected nonprofit hospital networks. It's known for its top-tier programs in cardiac and vascular care, neurology, orthopedics, as well as women's health. It also houses the Mid-America Heart Institution, which is a nationally recognized cardiovascular center. And for retirees, St. Luke's provides exceptional access to specialty care, such as rehabilitation services, and a strong reputation for compassionate treatment. So why does this matter? Because for retirees, reliable health care is essential, and Kansas City has this in abundance. Point 6 is ease of transportation as well as a central location. And that's one of the great things about Kansas City, particularly if you are a retiree, because Kansas City offers something very rare in a metro of its size: ease of mobility and a central U.S. location. And why is that a benefit? Because it makes traveling simple. Whether you're going to visit family, or you're trying to take a weekend getaway, or you just want to explore new places. Because Kansas City sits almost exactly in the middle of the United States, it makes Kansas City one of the most convenient home bases for retirees who really like to travel. Now, the Kansas City International Airport was recently rebuilt as of 2023 with a nice, efficient one-terminal design. But more importantly, you can fly to nearly every major city in the U.S. for under 3 hours. I don't know about you, but I don't like sitting on a plane. Popular destinations like Denver, Dallas, Chicago, Nashville, and Orlando, those are all short as well as affordable, and that makes it easy for retirees with family that are spread across the country to stay connected without long travel days as well as expensive airfare. Now, if you're in town, that's a whole different story. It's easy to get around Kansas City. You got to have a car if you're going to live here. That's just the long and the short of it. But both Johnson and Jackson counties do offer a senior transportation program which offers low-cost rides to doctor's appointments, grocery stores, as well as community centers. That said, getting around town is made easy due to major highways like I-435, I-35, I-70, and US 69. All of these roads and our secondary arteries make getting around Kansas City really straightforward and efficient. Most suburban drives, say from Overland Park, Olathe, and Lee Summit, let's say to downtown or to the Country Club Plaza, is about 20 to 30 minutes. And unlike larger metro areas, you won't spend your retirement sitting in gridlock. So what does that mean for retirees? That means less stress, less fuel cost, and more time doing what you enjoy, from golfing to seeing the grandkids to dining out or attending a Broadway show at the Starlight Theater. Kansas City is not only friendly, but the people are community-oriented. Kansas City is really known as the big small town. There's a real easygoing politeness that defines daily life here in Kansas City. The people tend to be polite, family-oriented, and neighborly. And let me give you a couple of examples. A home that I bought a number of years ago was a very old home, and the electrical system needed to be updated to meet code. So for 3 days, I had really no electricity. Once my neighbors found out, I received meals for those 3 days. I literally had a neighbor run an extension cord from across the street to my house, so at least in the morning we could make coffee and then maybe watch TV in the evening. I had recently just finished working with the client. We found a home, they moved in, and one night, it was about 10:30 at night, he was trying to get a big piece of furniture out of his SUV. A neighbor who happened to be walking down the street with his dog came over and helped him pull that piece of furniture out and get it into his home. And that didn't just happen once. That happened to him twice in about a 7-day period. It's not uncommon, particularly for older residents, to have somebody come and simply, as a courtesy to them, shovel the snow off their driveway or mow their yard. That is the type of community that Kansas City really is all about, taking care of their neighbors. Look, it's not uncommon to be standing in a checkout line and somebody will actually just strike up a conversation. Another great thing about Kansas City is the fact that Johnson County Parks and Recreation District has what they call their 50 plus program. They offer county-wide classes, different types of clubs and trips. They've got cards and game activities that you can join. They offer nature walks, pickleball, travel day trips, as well as special events. All of these are designed to help foster a sense of community and allows particularly retirees to meet new people and to stay active. What this does, it creates a sense of belonging and a connection which enhances the daily life or the quality of life during retirement. So we've talked about the 7 advantages that Kansas City has as a possible place to retire, but it does have some negatives. One is the fact that we are, as I mentioned previously, car dependent. If you're going to live here, you're going to have a car. There's no two ways about it. Particularly when you're in the suburbs, our public transportation is very weak if you're in Johnson County or in suburbs like Liberty or Lee Summit. Now, if you're in the more urban core part of Kansas City, where a lot of the more historic and desirable neighborhoods are, you do have a pretty robust public transportation system. Once you get to the University of Kansas City in Missouri, from there you can actually take the streetcar all the way down just past downtown to the River Market. So that's another form of public transportation. But other than that, that's really it. So if you're going to live in Kansas City, you're going to have to be able to drive a car. Second is the weather. Now, we do enjoy 4 distinct seasons. Spring and fall are wonderful. Right now, we're on the tail end of fall. It's November. We're about a week away from Thanksgiving. And the temperatures right now and tomorrow are going to be in the low 70s. The following week, it's going to be in the 60s. Summers here, they can get hot, but it doesn't really get hot until about the middle of July through the end of August. The temperatures are typically going to be in the upper 80s to, say, the mid 90s. We will get a day or two that's above 100 degrees, and we do get humid days. The winter is probably the it's the least desirable of the 4 seasons, but it's not as bad as you think. Yes, in theory, it starts in December, but the temperatures in December are typically in the 40s and 50s. Long-term forecast for this year, on Christmas Day, they're talking 40 degrees with a chance of snow. I hope it snows, but trust me, it won't snow. The cold period starts really about the 1st of January, runs for about 6 weeks. Here, the temperatures are going to be in the 20s, might even dip down into the low teens, maybe even single digits. But again, it's only 6 weeks. After that, the temperatures really start to change. You're going to be in the upper 20s, low 30s, with days popping into the 40s and the 50s. So how people actually deal with that 6-week cold period, particularly retirees, they travel. All that money that you have saved because of lower cost of living, lower groceries, being able to do a lot of things for virtually for free, they take all that savings and they travel. And because we are centrally located, the cost of travel is a lot more affordable than if you're on the coast. That's how people deal with the winter here in Kansas City, particularly the retirees. Another negative is, and the third negative, that happens to be the fact that we do have very limited luxury retirement facilities. In fact, I can only think of 3 that really offer maintenance-free living. They're not exclusive 55 and over. There's pros and cons to that. We'll check those out in another video that's upcoming. So here's the bottom line. If you want to talk about and explore the possibility of relocating in Kansas City, let me know. I've lived here almost all my life, so I have a pretty good handle on what it's like to live here, the challenges and the benefits. So that being said, if you want to talk, let's schedule a time. You can contact me by phone, text, email, or better yet, schedule a Zoom call. And do me a favor if you would. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, in addition to being a realtor, I'm also a lender. So if you're going to need financing to help you make that transition to Kansas City, let me know. I can answer any questions you have, help you navigate the process. My clients love the idea that they don't have to talk to multiple people to perfect a move to the Kansas City metro. Finally, if you are thinking about moving but not into the Kansas City market, I can help refer you to an agent, a realtor who is in your market, so that will help you facilitate that process as well. So again, thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it informative. Look for my other videos as well. Until then, I look forward to showing you around Kansas City.